So, Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau there speaking at the Prime Minister's official residence and announcing that he is to step down as leader of the ruling Liberal Party, and that as soon as a new leader has been chosen of that party, he will step down as Prime Minister. And soon, of course, by October, there are to be elections in Canada. Well, to tell us more about all this, give us a bit of an idea of the background to this resignation, I'm joined on set by France 24's International Affairs editor, Philip Turle. Hi, Philip. OK, this was not a surprise, Philip. Can you tell us what's behind this?
OK, well, Justin Trudeau and the Liberal Party have been falling quite badly in the polls recently. They lost two key by-elections, one of them in Toronto, one of them in Montreal. There's growing frustration, I think, amongst the people of Canada over the fact that they see that the Liberals and Justin Trudeau as Prime Minister are really not doing the right job at the moment, and that their lives are not easy. There are three main bones of contention, I think, that the people of Canada and those who have in the past supported the Liberals are now thinking twice about wanting them to stay in power are concerned. The first one is about the soaring cost of food. We've seen a huge increase in the prices that the Canadians are paying for food from 2.8%. They're due to go up by about 5% this year. So that means an extra 800 Canadian dollars per average family for food costs over the next 12 months. That's something that they say the government has failed to deal with. There's also a lot of frustration about immigration in Canada and the fact that Canada's always been seen as an easy country, a welcoming country for immigrants. That's not the case anymore. People say that the government has not been doing the right job, even though Justin Trudeau and the Liberals have announced a 21% reduction of permanent residences allowed for immigrants coming into the country. They say that's not enough. The country can't deal with the numbers of immigrants coming in right now. And the third one is the rising costs of house prices in Canada as well, which has also frustrated many people, especially those who want to get on the housing ladder, who find it just pretty much impossible. And I think one has to say that 10 years in power for anybody is a long time. And there's what they call in French the using of power and the frustration and the fatigue of seeing the same people running the country. And it's basically, I think, the general feeling that it's time for change. And that's why the Conservatives, the rival party to the Liberals, have seen a net increase in their support base. The Liberals on 21% now due to, according to a poll by Nanos in Canada, where you see the Conservatives on 47%. And I think those are all the factors that have pushed Justin Trudeau, but in particular the Liberal Party, to sort of force his hand, I think, to say, look, I think this is time really for you to stand down before you're pushed out of the job.
Yeah, we heard his own finance minister back in December resigned. She said she didn't think he was taking seriously this big threat raised by Donald Trump, that if Canada didn't tighten up illegal immigrants entering the US from Canada, he said, and drugs entering the US from Canada, he would impose a 25% tariff on all Canadian goods. That would really have hit their economy. And she said that Trudeau wasn't taking that seriously.
Well, the economists have been saying, like, if there was a 25% imposition of tariffs on Canadian goods, that would be devastating for the Canadian economy, which is something that Canada just can't afford right now. You have to remember that Donald Trump is out for defending America first. But there's no comparison between the numbers of immigrants coming into America, for example, from the Canadian side as there is from the Mexican side. But this is another argument by Donald Trump to try to shore up support for his own party. I think there's a feeling that the government of Canada has been a bit lackluster and not aggressive and resilient enough towards Donald Trump to try to fight that off. I'm concerned that this could mean that there will be a tariff war, a trade war between Canada and the United States, plus the fact that Donald Trump's made it pretty obvious that he's interested in Canada becoming the 51st state of the United States, which is also something that Canada doesn't want. I think there's only about a 15% approval rating in Canada for that. So all of these factors, I think, are putting several things together to say, look, maybe it's time for a change. We need someone who's more pugnacious in the face of Donald Trump returning to the White House. Justin Trudeau's been in power for 10 years. It's basically time for a change right now. And that's why Justin Trudeau, right up until this speech, has been sort of putting out feelers saying that he was willing to try to stay in office to run again in the elections this year to stay in his job as Prime Minister. But now that looks pretty much impossible, as though I think the Liberal Party knows that Justin Trudeau is a losing horse, and they're going to have to try to find someone else if they've got any chance of pulling back the support they've lost so massively in the face of the Conservatives.